From the whole loin, now we're going to produce a rack from the best end, or the rib section. To separate that, we use the cartilage disc between the backbones and cut straight through. Put the loin to one side, and that's the piece we're going to use. What we first need to do is remove the backbone, or chine the best end. So we're just going to saw through where the ribs meet the backbone. Note that I've only sawn through the bones and not extensively into the meat below. Now we just need to follow that backbone around and take that off cleanly in one piece. We also need to make sure that we remove the yellow strip of gristle that runs along the back line of the carcass. The small diaphragm skirt we also need to remove. That can go into our trim for our mince. What we need to do now is just remove a portion of the flesh on the tips of the ribs. So when we cut the loin off, we use the eye muscle as a measurement. So the tail of the best end was twice the eye muscle. So in that case, we're going to measure once the eye muscle and make a mark. That will be the section we remove from the tip of the ribs. So we turn that over and we follow that mark across, cutting parallel with the back line of the carcass. Just making sure that we mark between each of the ribs as we go along. When that turns over, we can now clearly see the mark between the ribs. We now need to remove the meat from between those ribs. Just following along the side of the ribs with the point of the boning knife. Turn that meat over and then start taking the meat away between the ribs. The trim can then go into our mince. Just finally make sure that we can scrape off any last little bit of connective tissue around the ribs to leave clean, exposed rib tips. Finally, we just need to remove the bark, or this outer layer of skin, off the top. So it's just the bark coming off, and we're leaving the underlying covering of fat.